Hi class, as we get started in this semester, I wanted to start by going over a few terms that are important, namely the difference between normative statements and descriptive statements. So descriptive statements, pretty straightforward. Describes a situation or event. No value judgment is made. Instead, empirical evidence is used to merely describe what is taking place or what has taken place, right? So if I talk about where I was Wednesday at 5 o'clock, I'm just giving you some descriptive statements. I tell you where I went to school in my introduction, that's descriptive statements. What's the word length, right? Here to here, descriptive. Normative statements, right, these do more than merely describe a situation or event. Normative statements make a moral judgment, a moral evaluation, or a moral justification. They do more than describe, okay? In ethics, we have to be clear because there's often mistakes made with regard to this, right? So if I am talking about abortion and I say 45% of studies show 45% of women experience guilt and elements of shame the weeks following having an abortion. That's just a descriptive claim. I'm not saying whether abortion is good or bad, right or wrong. I'm not making any judgments or justifications. It's just a descriptive claim based on research done, right? But if I say something like abortions are killing innocent lives and therefore immoral, I'm making a normative claim. I'm making a moral judgment, justification, etc. And so we have to be clear here. Descriptive statements and normative statements seem like they're so separate and it's obvious, but a lot of times it's not. They do relate to one another. And so we always want to be clear. Are you just describing something factually, statistically, or are you implying a normative or moral judgment? I talk with people, and one of the arguments I often get when we'll be having a disagreement is something like, well, it's always been this way, right? We do this because we've always done it like this. That's a descriptive statement. Should we do it like this? Should things change? Right? Simply appealing to some descriptive claim about history is not a normative justification for why we ought to do it that way. Right? We're talking about homosexual marriage and someone says, well, marriage has always been between a man and a woman. That's what it's always been. Okay, that's descriptive, and historically, at least in the West, that's often true. But should it be? Okay, maybe it should. Why? And let's hear the normative argument. In this class, I care more about your normative statements, the should statements. What should be the case? Often, I'll make a moral argument, and someone will say, well, but humans can't live up to that. Humans will never attain that. Okay, that's a descriptive statement. Should humans aspire to that, though? Is that the goal we should be reaching for? So I think you get the point, I hope, between descriptive and normative. There's a fallacy that can be created, actually, called the naturalistic fallacy. When you attempt to derive an ought, a normative claim, directly from an is, or descriptive claim, right? It's like saying something, it is natural for men to want to have sex with more than one woman, to have more than one sex partner. And some people say biologically, right, over time, men can impregnate more than one woman. Women can only be impregnated by one man, and so men have a higher sex drive and are more likely to be promiscuous. And then the argument is, oh, well, if men are by nature more promiscuous, descriptive claim, then it's okay for them to have more than one sexual partner. But you just made the naturalistic fallacy. You moved from a descriptive statement about a man's sex drive to a normative claim about how men should behave. Maybe it's true that men have high sex drives and have natural desires to have more than one sex partner. But we still might say, given those drives, they should avoid that. They should overcome that and remain monogamous, right? So the descriptive and the normative, although related to each other, are not the same. And we have to be clear when we're talking, is this a descriptive statement or argument that I'm making, or is it a normative one? Sometimes in papers, students tend to make it a report. Here's what a utilitarian says. Here's what John Locke said about this. Here's what, and it's all descriptive. I need to hear your voice. I need to hear your normative argument, your normative justification for why you hold the views that you do. and your papers will be graded primarily on that, right? So we want to be clear. I hope this helps. If you have any questions at all, let me know. And again, I'll continue to look forward to seeing you guys online.